Welcome back to Top Moments TV today. Get ready because we are bringing you some intense moments and tech adventures that are not for the faint of heart. Dangerous things are waiting ahead. Buckle up and jump right in. In the middle of the wilderness, where mud covered the ground like a black carpet, a giant truck was struggling in a life and death battle. The four giant wheels sank deep, roaring desperately, and helplessness filled the air. But that was only a moment before the heroes appeared. Under the canopy of the deep green forest, the giant timber transport vehicle trudged forward, crushing the brittle dry branches under its huge tracks. Each precious log, rough and heavy, was stacked on top of each other like sleeping giants, held tightly by shiny black steel chains. We understand that time is money for truck drivers. Every minute your truck is down on the road means a minute of lost productivity, resulting in unnecessary damage. That's why we provide professional, fast, and reliable truck recovery services 24/7. Amidst the chaotic traffic, a giant container truck rushed towards them at a terrifying speed. In a split second, the driver showed extraordinary courage, performing a spectacular turn, swerving the car like a dancer on the stage of death. Tons of steel roar, trapped in a sea of thick mud, a life and death battle between humans and harsh nature, where strength and courage are tested to the limit. The truck roared, struggling through the deep, slimy mud. The wheels grinded, sliding on the slippery road, mud splashing everywhere as if it wanted to drown the giant machine. The roar of the engine echoed throughout the mountainous region. A steel monster, a giant excavator, was grinding its teeth, each chain grinding into the rough road. Behind it, the cable was as taut as a guitar string, dragging a heavy truck, struggling to overcome the steep slope. Huge, heavy logs lumbered along the snow-covered path. Every step was a battle with the bone-chilling cold and deadly slippery conditions. The brave lumberjacks, with their calloused hands and strong will, were struggling with the harsh nature, bringing each log through the challenge into human hands. Army all-terrain vehicles roared, tearing through the thick mud. The wheels crunched, sending black mud streaks flying into the air. Each turn was a battle, an assertion of unshakable power. The huge truck, loaded with rough logs, grinded its wheels on the red dirt road, creating a cloud of dust. The thick red dust clung to the treetops along the road, turning the lush green landscape into a dull gray. The convoy of trucks carrying timber lumbered forward, leaving behind a huge cloud of dust, swirling like a tornado. The heavy logs, stacked high, shook with each movement of the trucks, as if wanting to tear apart the dense dust. Amidst the chaos, the giant truck tilted and overturned like a wounded monster. The painful screeching of metal, the scattered goods, the devastated road surface, all created a horrifying picture of the accident. Without hesitation, they rushed into danger, facing the enormous challenge. Each cable strained to bear the burden, each giant crane stretched out strongly, all coordinated in a rhythmic, precise dance. The roar of the engines tore through the silence. Two giant tractors, the beasts of the road, were engaged in a dramatic battle of strength. Dust swirled under the giant wheels, leaving traces of the relentless confrontation. In the middle of the bustling city, a brave warrior is diligently performing his duty. The bulldozer, with its massive body and extraordinary strength, is gently caressing the damaged cars, removing them from the congested road. In the midst of the wild landscape of the swampy land, the mighty Toyota Fortuner has now become an unwilling victim. The black, slushy mud has swallowed half of the car, turning the powerful SUV into a motionless block of steel.
No!
The massive truck, once a symbol of strength and durability, now writhed in its death throes. Thick black smoke billowed from its engine, contrasting starkly with its shiny paintwork, creating a hauntingly eerie scene. A horrific accident occurred when a giant truck lost control and overturned on the highway, creating a chaotic and dangerous scene. Goods were scattered everywhere. Debris was flying around, and the truck was lying upside down, blocking the road. The roar of the engine echoed throughout the mountains as the huge truck slowly climbed the steep slope. Each turn of the wheels crunched the rough road, causing dust to fly up. The setting sun dyed the body of the truck golden, casting long shadows down the slope. The roar tore through the quiet night. The giant truck lurched on the deserted road. From the exhaust pipe, columns of black smoke billowed, filling the air with a pungent, acrid smell. The mighty military vehicles, painted in moss green camouflage, sped along the muddy dirt road. The wheels crunched into the slushy mud, leaving deep, long tracks. The roar of the engines echoed throughout the area, drowning out the pattering of rain. In an emergency situation, when a giant container gets stuck or has an accident, every second counts. Our professional rescue team, with extensive experience and modern equipment, will quickly arrive to rescue the vehicle and ensure everyone's safety.
Esse cabo aí tá um perigo, hein? Arrebentar aí, ó, arrancaria esse peão aí, ó. Ó, não xinga. Ó a força que esse cano tem, ó. Eu subi aqui é brabo, ó. Olha pra você ver o subidão que é. Eu tô bobo de ver, se fosse esse guarda de rei, eu tinha capotado pra lá, ó. Brincar esse motorista tinha até morrido, viu? O peso da carreta é tudo pra cima da gabine dele lá, eu queria cair nesse.
The huge truck roared, bucked, and struggled with the muddy road. The wheels grinded and spun in the thick mud, sending up streaks of black mud. Every muscle of the vehicle tensed, straining to overcome the challenge like a ferocious beast fighting against the harsh nature. The huge truck roared, grinding its wheels through the thick mud. Each wheel turned slowly, struggling with the slippery, slimy road. Mud splashed and left long streaks on the body of the vehicle, as if to prove the relentless battle with nature. Amidst the vast white landscape, a giant truck roared, struggling to pass through the snow-covered road. The wheels crunched into the ice, leaving long, deep tracks in the snow. The wind howled, carrying icy snowflakes, whipping against the sides of the truck, creating a majestic yet harsh picture of nature. A steel monster, the giant earth-moving truck, roars in despair as it gets bogged down, stuck in a sea of mud. A battle between force and nature. The earth-moving truck, heavily laden, struggles to escape the clutches of the slushy mud. A steel monster, a truck loaded with dirt and rocks, now stuck helplessly in the mud. The giant wheels spin helplessly, roaring in despair. The battle between mechanical power and the mud of Mother Earth is going on, and neither side has yet to win. The motorbike roared, struggling with the raging flood, water splashing as if it wanted to drown everything. The driver gritted his teeth, gripped the handlebars tightly, determined to overcome the road of death. In the middle of the highway, a huge battle is taking place. The heavy transport vehicle, like a giant steel monster, collapsed motionless. But don't worry, the silent heroes have appeared.
The
trucks are as strong and resilient as giants on the road, tirelessly transporting precious timber from the deep forest back to life. Each trip is a challenging journey, overcoming bumpy and dangerous roads, carrying the treasures of nature.
ayam pencet lagi.
Ya, kita dulu. Berat itu.
The mighty trucks with their iron bodies and skins roared loudly throughout the peaceful countryside. On the red dirt road, marked with deep wheel tracks, they tirelessly transported each load of heavy soil. Dust swirled up with each turn of the wheels, dyeing a corner of the sky red. The blizzard howled and writhed, swallowing all sound, leaving only the cold whistling of the wind and the grinding of metal. A car, now a twisted pile of scrap metal, lay motionless in the white snow, like a wounded animal waiting to die. The sharp pieces of debris scattered about, reflecting the flashing lights of the rescue vehicle, created a terrifying scene. No matter day or night, no matter where you are, we are always ready to rescue your earth-moving vehicle from unexpected incidents. Our team of skilled rescue experts are fully equipped with modern equipment, ensuring to handle any situation quickly, safely, and most effectively.
Vai, vai. Ah, agora deu certo. Isso aí, ó. Vai engatar.
Hôm nay là tôi hết hàng rồi anh em ạ. Được còn thì cái thùng xe nữa.
Vamos puxar pra lá.
Você tá doido? Đọc qua hôm vừa rồi quay xe của mình nhé.
trên là lấy đà rất là nhanh nhắc tới. Và chiếc này là bò nhá, bò mà nhá. Các quan tài thì mọi người đã rất là hai xe luôn, nghe không? Ở đây thì lún rất là sâu luôn nhá.
Mutta ne väärällä kohdalla saattaa olla. Lupissa ei ole 23 tonnia, vaikka tuota vaakassa näyttää.
Cuộc xích
Ok. Được rồi, 50 phân.
các bạn ơi. Là đường thể hiện rất là nghiêm trọng.
Một con máy lên dốc một bé quá. Coi con này xong xuôi các bạn, đó là con thế, một thế, đó, biết không? Còn mấy con dốc nó rất dài nhưng mà nó bê tông, nó nhìn tay, đây có hai cái suối nữa, cầu trước, lại về, đường đây sẽ thấy cũng là 5 gram thôi. Thôi, ra cái này đường nó cũng khá đẹp rồi. Thôi, chặt tầm điều con.
Safest place is in the Jeep. Maybe not.
Да, спуска нагрудниковский.
Пойдет? Хорош. nhá. Thế mày tuyệt vời đấy. Mày下来走，你可不行了，嘞。现在我玩你了，小子。来喽，快点，来喽。
Lugin.
See you.
Hey, give it a Brandon Ingram and Donkey Kong. Give it up for Tony Kane.
Did it work better or? Any water inside?
Quay nguyên dần luôn.
Đến bữa đó mình tháo.
Tại qua kia hồi đi mình dây. Cạn nước thời gian lên nổi.
Thank you for watching my video. If you like these eye-catching scenes, don't forget to like and subscribe so you don't miss the next exciting content. See you in more exciting videos about dramatic off-road vehicles.